Here we have the all-new 2024 Cadillac Lyriq. This comes in the Sport 1 trim level with rear-wheel drive. This color is the beautiful argent silver metallic. And then we have the sky cool gray with santorini blue vegan leather interior. And the powertrain consists of a 340 horsepower rear-mounted electric motor. And we get a 102 kilowatt battery. But as we come around to the front end here, with this being the sport trim, one of the biggest ways you can tell is by the light bar here on the luxury. It's a different light design here and all that's kind of lit up, but here you just kind of have a more sportier appearance. I actually like it. And then you have the crest here. Looks great. I just love how the argent silver kind of goes with the rest of the styling here, especially on the sport trim. But looking at these wheels here, you get 20-inch alloy wheels. They say they're diamond cut or something. I like the look of it. They look beautiful. Now for the charge port here, you can open that up there and then close it just by hitting that button. Of course, you can DC fast charge. I think it's like 170 or 190 kilowatts. Now these close in when you are in the vehicle or lock it, but when it's unlocked, they present themselves to you. So we don't have to do like we had to do last year on the 23s. We had to like click that button and kind of got on people's nerves. But I love the wood finish here. And then we can adjust our lumbar support here, power seat back, power seat bottom. Then we have memory seating for 2, and then 3-stage heated seats. We can either heat the back and the bottom or just the back. And then to set, you just hit set and then click the number you want to set it to, and to recall, just click that number. Now for the power door lock controls, unlock, lock here. Power mirror controls, you can turn those on and off and adjust there. Then also power fold the side mirrors, and you have blind spot monitors in those. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down windows on all 4 doors, and that's your door handle there. Bottle holder, and then your power lift gate. Click that button to open it. And then we can hit this twice and see what's under where the engine would be, which is not on this, but lane keep assist with lane departure, automatic brake hold, brightness for the gauge clutch, and the emergency brake or electronic parking brake is right there. Sorry for the chime. There's a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And there is the seat itself, which I love the design. I even love the headrest. It just kind of molds to you. It's very, very nice. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're gonna check out this rear space here. So I like we have the bottle holder down there, and then hopping in here. Pretty great leg room, again, being 6'3" and having that seat up front adjusted, especially with how, I guess, big the seats are. It's nice that you can fit back here pretty nicely, and a lot of it has to do with just the hip room you have here for your legs in this area. So plenty of space, as you can see, between the seat and then the door panel. But rear AC vents are here. You have 2 USB-C charge ports. And then we do have a middle seat that folds down, and the bottle holders are here as well. So you have up to 4 for the back. And a grab handle here with the soft touch lights. Might not work, it has a plastic on them. Take it off real quick. So pretty nice. Kind of have to swipe through, get used to it. But anyways, let's make our way towards the back. The feel like temperature is 102 out here today, so I apologize if this isn't the best, but I'm trying to just stay alive out here. Now, underneath here, have a few extras. I think the charger's down there. I think there might be a tire inflator kit too. I'm not 100%. But 12 volts here. And then I think this one stickers around $62,000. Let me take a quick look after we look at the back here. But LED tail lamps, they don't flash like that. That's just how the camera's picking them up. And a huge shout out to Cadillac of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Lyriq today. I just wanted to show you how you open it from the outside. But I'll leave a link below to the vehicle, as well as their full inventory here at Cadillac of Murfreesboro. I'm gonna try and get as close as I can. Oh, it's actually $63,190. So $63,190 for the sport trim with the rear mounted motor. Of course, you can get an all-wheel drive variant, which I highly recommend because I feel like it's worth that money. Now that will fold flat when the seat up front is up far enough, and the top tether's there, and then your anchors are hidden behind here, which is a nice touch. But with the sport trim, you kind of have this darker finish on the door sills and whatnot, as opposed to that brighter chrome look you get on the luxury. And there's our front passenger seat. Controls are over there for that. Man, I'm burning up out here. And then you have a USB-C port, a little storage pocket there. If you want to put a handbag, a small backpack, that should fit in there, no problem. Now, it was extremely hot in this car. Let me say, with the glass roof, especially with this one, do not leave that sunshade open on a hot day like today, or you will fry. But here, you pretty much just have a cover for the front, and your windshield wiper fluid goes here. I think you have a few fuses or battery ground, something like that. But really nothing going on here with it being a rear-mounted vehicle, rear-mounted motor vehicle, excuse me. But before I pass out, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. Oh, that's nice. So we do get a leather wrap steering wheel here, and we can heat that. Button for that is here. Feels good, I like the grip and all of that. Now over here to the screen here, we do get that continuous screen that Cadillac is known for. I think it's like 30-something inches, 33 inches, something like that. Now, let me make sure the vents are out the way. We get AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth, and we have the Google News and podcast apps along with the USB port. You do get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. So if you want to just pull up your maps through your iPhone, you can do that. But you also have the Google apps here, Google Maps here, excuse me, and then you can set all that up there. And I'm in demo mode, so that was pretty loud. But a lot of stuff you have to walk through, but I love just the overall, how easy it is to use here. You can see your traffic patterns. It's one of the best, I think, in terms of just showing you traffic alerts and all of that. And then you can search, and pretty self-explanatory how you can use it. And then there's a charging station shortcut there to show you the closest stations, and then restaurants, shopping, etc. To pair your phone, pretty easy to do. Add it walks you right through what you need to do, and you pretty much do everything on the phone itself. And I like the shortcuts down here, so we can charge. It'll show you what it'll charge to at a certain percentage. You can go to charge later, set a time, preconditioning, all that, and then you can actually create a schedule so you can decide when to charge the battery as well as when to leave the house. I guess what your temperature should be when you leave the house. You can schedule that as well. That's what I was trying to say. And that's pretty neat there. So literally it told me the vehicle is approaching from the right as I'm sitting here in park. So it's nice to have all these sensors and whatnot going on. Speaking of which, you have auto park assist here, and you can just do that from the screen. So whether you're trying to exit or park, you can do that. Then for your cameras, there's our front camera there. Backup cameras there with guidelines. Then we have side views, curbside, as well as an overhead view there. And then we get dual zone automatic climate controls. We'll come back to that. But you can go through your drive modes themselves here. You have Tour, Sport, Snow and Ice, and a My mode you can set up. You can also turn on the one pedal driving system there. You can set the level to high, or you can just turn it off or on. I like to keep mine as hard as it'll go. Then again, the charging settings are right there. Ambient lighting, you do have that on this, so you can customize that, link to a drive mode. Just so much that you can customize within the actual vehicle. It's nuts. But over here, your child safety locks will be in that shortcut I just clicked on, controls and safety. So automatic or electronic, you have that. Dome lights, the power window lockout, the auto high beams, park assist, all of that. is right in here for you. So that's pretty much all of the options there. And then you have the actual settings here. Vehicle settings. I'm trying to go through this as fast as possible because there's just so much you can do here. But you can manage those phone connections from here, the Wi-Fi hotspot, date and time. You can adjust that here. And then if you go down, you can change your language here in the system settings, and then your units as well from US to metric, if for whatever reason you decide to do that. Now, climate controls, again, dual zone automatic climate. You can either use the screen, which I like. I love the graphics here. You can turn the heat on or off, the AC on or off, and then adjust fan direction, temperature, and then your speed is going to be right here. And then you can adjust that front passenger side here. You have a few shortcuts down below. So your auto mode you can use from here, fan speed, temperature, and whatnot. Now the sync, to do that, you do have to use the screen there. And I like that we could turn that on and off. So you have that adjustability there. And then there, your settings, you can set your auto fan speed, eco climate controls are available. You can do the heated seats on startup. So with this having remote start, and I'll show you the fob in a minute, you can actually set up a remote, actual remote start where it can be cooling or heating the cabin while you're getting to the vehicle. A lot of EVs don't really have that. You have to do it from your phone or something, but storage pocket there. I like that. Now this you actually use to adjust the vents throughout, as you can see. Now volume knob is right in here, and then you can click that to mute. And then you have your menu knob, which you can use to go through everything. Now let me just say, again, the sunshade was back on this fixed glass roof, and when I got in here, all of this stuff was on fire. It literally burned my hand. So just make sure you're keeping that shade shut. That's the only issue I have with, I guess, these kind of being a metal of some sort. It was extremely hot right around here, around here, around here, and around there. But anyway, shortcuts are for the radio right in here. And again, you can use this knob to go through the screen, or this volume knob to actually adjust that. Bottle holders are here. Lift this up, USB-C, and then a 12 volt. And I think that's missing the cover, because I don't know if this has actually been finished through PDI, but wireless charging pads right in there. Up here we have the hazards. I like that the button flashes when you click it. And then that is the actual sunshade. I'm going to show you this just really quickly because I'm going to close this up as soon as I can, because it is, again, 100 degrees outside. I think the literal temperature is like 92 or something. So there's that. You might be able to even tell by just the camera how hot it is. I'm burning up out here. But vanity mirror, I like that we get those premium kind of white glow vanity lights. Now over here to the actual steering wheel, we have our heated steering wheel toggle again, cruise control. We can turn that on or off. We can cancel, we can adjust the gap for that and the forward collision alert right here, and then set or resume the speed there. And then to the right side, voice recognition, Bluetooth control. This is also a mute button, and then we can go through our stations or whatnot here. Bluetooth button, and then this is actual audio button. And then when you pull that up, this is for the screen, so you can go through all of that there. It's like a toggle, and then you have your volume controls here. And then behind on the left side here, that's the regenerative braking pedal if you're not in one pedal drive. But windshield wiper controls here, and you just click that to wipe, and then click it all the way in to wipe with the fluid. And then we can adjust our wipers here, low and high, with the intermittents in the middle. And then when the headlamps are on, we can turn the high beams on or off. You can see on the right side them going on, and then we can flash by pulling up here. And then for the shifter, just pull forward for neutral, pull down for drive from that position, or pull up for reverse from that position, and then press P for park. And then over here to the side, we don't have a knob for the 24 because they put the headlight controls in here. So you have different gauge settings. First and foremost, you have your just regular gauge and your energy and your maps. You want to make sure that the Google system is set up there. You can pull that up, and then your driver assist system, and then the clean look there. So I think my favorite is the gauge setup. I just like how that looks. But over here we have our trip meter. We can scroll through that. And then Again, the headlamp controls are in here. Now, my only issue with having the headlamp controls here is, like in the new Colorados, you shut the vehicle off. I'll even show you. Push button starts there. And then if you left the lights on, you have to turn the vehicle all the way back on to get that back up, which isn't necessarily a bad thing with an EV, but with a gas-powered vehicle, it can be a nuisance because you kind of have to wait for it to start up or whatever. But finally, here we have the key fob with remote start, and then we have that power liftgate control as well. But next, it's got time to go ahead and take this 2024 Cadillac Lyriq Sport 1 out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Lyriq Sport, pretty similar to the 23 I drove that had that same rear-mounted electric motor. Now, the most recent Lyriq I've driven was the 24 Luxury one that had the all-wheel drive, so you had that 500 horsepower, I think it was 450 pound-feet of torque. But this one having 340 horsepower, it's still peppy enough. It just doesn't feel as quick, but still plenty of pickup when you need it. Now, I had the one pedal drive set on high. I have it on just the on setting now. And I actually like the on setting a little better as of now, but I'm gonna try and use the high setting. I mean, it's just wild how much it brakes. Now, I don't know if that's all regen or if it's just hitting the brake for you, but it's a very strong feel. If you like one pedal and you want even stronger than what you have now, this is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, one pedal driving pedals that I've felt. Yeah, very, very strong. But we're gonna turn on the adaptive cruise now. And again, we do have the lane keeping system with the lane departure, but this isn't a true semi-autonomous system like you would if you had the Super Cruise, which is available on these. But I've said this before, this is probably the smoothest, if not top 2 or 3 smoothest riding EVs out. Now, I've driven the Mercedes ones, and that's really the only thing that can come close to this. But it's almost a numb feel. This is a very, very luxury-oriented vehicle. So it's not like an AMG or anything like that, or something that's gonna be, I guess, sporty and smooth. This is just smooth. Now, I think the all-wheel drive variant makes it just a bit sportier because it is faster, but I mean, this right here does the job. It's quicker than my Mach-E. I have a Mach-E California Route 1, but it doesn't feel as fast because the steering feel is so numb. But yeah, that feels like I'm hitting the actual brake pedal hard on that high mode. So that's cool to have, but I'm gonna just stick to regular. Now, again, this is one of the smoothest riding EVs out here, so the ride itself is very comfortable, on top of being very, I guess, non-intrusive, especially going over bumps. But for me, again, it's not meant to feel fast. It's meant to feel swift. And I think one of the reasons this is one of the more anticipated vehicles in the EV lineup is a lot of people want an EV, but they don't want something that rides as harshly as pretty much everything else is out right now. Specifically, if you're looking at a Tesla Model Y, or if you're looking at a Mustang Mach-E, this is gonna have that in terms of ride quality by quite a bit. Now, again, the steering is not going to feel as stiff. It's not gonna feel as controlled. This feels like I'm driving an Escalade. I guess more like an XT5, honestly. This feels like I'm driving an XT5 that's electric. But I mean, the steering feel is even more numb to me than the Escalade. Again, it's agile, and of course you put it in the sport mode and it stiffens up a bit, but it's still not meant to, I guess, feel the road, if that makes sense. It's still luxurious even in the sport mode. So for me, well, it's in sport mode now. Well, there you go. So I couldn't even tell just by how, I guess, not stiff the steering is. So when I put it in a tour mode, yeah, that's even, gosh. It's just crazy how they made this where you literally, this is probably one of the EVs that you could chauffeur somebody around in, honestly. It's just that nice. But one of the smoothest driving EVs, again, on the market. Now the price point, with it being mid-60s, well, this one being 63 and some change, I'd rather just pay the extra $3,500, get all-wheel drive, because the EPA estimate is only 3 or 4 miles less, I think, with the dual motor variant as opposed to this single motor variant. And of course, with that big 102 kilowatt hour battery, range shouldn't be an issue either, because you're getting 300 plus on both of them. But I think this is a great start for Cadillac in terms of EVs. Can't wait for the Escalade IQ to come out. I'm excited to drive that. But I mean, just a really good driving and very luxurious electric vehicle. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Cadillac Lyriq Sport 1.